Hey, what's up ladies and gentlemen, it is I am the one and only Sonic the Hedgehog here, and I am of course back for some more yet again for the likes of the Maxi Toys videos. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back for some more of Let's Play of Super Mario 64 DS for the Nintendo DS. So last time we have basically just managed to able to obtain 8 power stars, like 6 of them from the likes of Bob-omb Battlefield, as well as the other 2 based off of the forms of Princess Peach's Castle's secret stars. And I suppose today for this episode is the fact that we're about to be moving on to I would say the next world, which appears to be by the forms of Wasp's Fortress. And we might also do another world as well, which appears to be by the forms of Jolly Roger Bay as well, if we got enough time though, if that's to be the case. So anyways, let's hop right into Wasp's Fortress, another one of those iconic levels in Super Mario 64. So the first mission we have is chip off Wasp's block, and I do suppose that it doesn't really matter what characters you're going to be using for this mission, but I'm also able to actually go for Mario for this mission, well at least despite the fact that Mario's cap was actually shown up on the actual touchscreen as you can see on screen. So, but either way though, that's to be expected. So, yeah, this particular place has a lot of differences than the forms of how it does in the original counterparts this time around. Like, well obviously with the graphical overhaul, like for instance that, you know with these little you know, with these flumps or something like that, that's, camera, can you just let me focus, please? Thank you. Sometimes, the camera can sometimes, can be pretty, obnoxious at points, but at least it doesn't matter to me, though, because I just managed to get it fixed. So, yeah, anyway, though, for those, flumps over there, they obviously got updated, so rather than being blue, instead they become grey, so, which to be expected with most modern Mario games nowadays. So, and also another thing is that I'm pretty sure that one of those red coins is actually going to be switched place. Like, specifically, as you can see on the map, that they're now able to actually add in some new things to the table. Well, to be more specifically, they added in a new kind of spot, although we'll point it out until later on because we have Womp King. It makes me so mad. We build your houses, your castles, we pave your roads. And still, you walk all over us. Do you ever say thank you? No. Well, you're not going to wipe your feet on me. I think I'll crush you just for fun. Do you have a problem with that? Just try to pound me, wimp. Ha. So yeah, basically, much like the forms of the original boss fights with Womp King, is that once again you have to ground pound him about 3 times, and then if you've done that, then basically he'll be toasted. So either way though, that's pretty much how you expect for the most simple, easy fights. So, dang it. And by the way, the only difference is now is that I don't think we can able to do a cool trick by clipping through, you know, Womp King this time around, so all we have to do is ground pound him 3 times. No, crushed again. I'm just a stepping stone after all. I want gravel. Gravel. Here, you win. Take this with you. And there he goes, Womp King. Even though that until Super Mario Galaxy 2 was a thing, then basically you can able to refight against with him for, well, mainly for one time for a pretty much a different arena. So, but anyway, that's pretty much about it in terms of chip off Wasp's block. And now we're going to be heading back into this particular level again and head on to the next mission to the top of the fortress. So, again, it really doesn't matter if you either be Mario or Yoshi in this mission, but either way though, I think we should probably stick with Yoshi for the majority of everything. So because of that though, something's worth mentioning for this point is the fact that, since after all that today's day is of course the 3rd of March today, in this case in 2021, so you know what that means for this point folks, is that yes, Nintendo Switch has been out for 4 years now. Gee, I can't even believe that time itself just went flying by. And it's pretty impressive actually when it comes to the actual Nintendo Switch's lifespan, because normally that's obviously that unlike the Wii U has been lasted for about, I would say almost 5 years, well at least if you want to count the forms of the last true Nintendo Wii U title, which is of course The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Well, usually because of how the fact that, well, much like how it did in the forms of Twilight Princess for both the GameCube and the Wii, and well, you guys should know what I mean. So even then, well, I almost got to get flattened all of a sudden, so I guess that might as well help me if I'm able to, like, go underneath through the womp just from the start. So anyway, so in this mission all you have to do is pretty simple. You have to simply just climb all the way up to the top, basically. So pretty self-explanatory mission, and you should probably deal with it no problem, like so. So, another thing that's worth mentioning for is the fact that, speaking of The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, that game is now 4 years old as well, so even then though, well, both on the Wii U and the Switch, so yeah, it's one classify that. The third mission we have is Shoot into the Wild Blue. So between the next two missions we're going to be hopping into, like the first one for instance, we now need to able to utilize the canyon while simply able to talk to Bubba and Buddy, which either way though, we're able to talk to him just about right now, and now we can able to do whatever we wanted to. Like, you can either just go for the third mission, like I was about to be doing, or on the opposite way, I'm going to be going for the, can you get in the canyon please? Thank you. It's the fact that you can either just go onto the far right and shoot all the way from this breakable wall, and basically the power stars should appear. Because yeah, unlike the forms of the original version of this mission, that basically after when you blast through the wall, basically the star will show up after the actual part of the wall has been break. So as a result, the star will not appear until when the jingle is finished. So yeah, this is a little bit different here. So time for this long jump, and away we go. Man, the actual long jumps, when it comes to like long, well, you know what I mean. It's pretty satisfying. Even then, I do apologize with the actual commentary. It feels a bit sloppy at points, I must admit though, just because, well, then again though, it has not much else to say for this point. So yeah, for that, the mission I've already did, this mission is actually called, Blast Away the Wall. So even then though, now we need to do the third mission again, but now we can able to do it properly. So even then though, let me try and go ahead and adjust the actual cannon, aiming from, let's say, over there. Ah, I was so close. Oh, okay, there we go. I'm almost gonna get myself screwed over for a second there, because I'm almost gonna able to get pushed off by the forms of that particular fence at the top. But thankfully I was being safe. So either way though, we'll blast from here, and I think we are good to go here. So, yeah, pretty simple, self-explanatory mission if you manage to know what you're doing. So, and by the way, you can also just manage to utilize this, the Yoshi's tongue when you're trying to able to obtain a power star to make things a little bit quicker and faster for you. So even then, I want to point things out. So either way though, yeah, that's pretty much about it. And now we recovered 12 power stars. So that means we can now able to actually beat the likes out of Bowser in the Dark World. But let's not get in there right now. The next mission we have is Red Coins on the Floating Isle. And you know what this mission is all about? Basically, just grab all 8 red coins, and that's how you're essentially gonna do for this mission. So, however though, that as I mentioned this before already, about the fact the matter is though, is that several of those red coins have been slightly changed places a little bit. Well, except for the 7 of those red coins are in the exact same place. But only with one exception, which we'll point it out whenever we're able to find it, but, oh jeez, that was close. So, and another game that's been out for about, well, let's just say by the forms of 4 years now is, of course, One to Switch is also 4 years old right now, and, also same applies for Super Bomberman R for the Switch. And, what else came out about 4 years ago? Even though, to be honest with you, there's not much else I can say apart from the fact that I haven't really looked upon that much of third-party support and all that jazz, because I'm more into the forms of the first-party support and all that stuff. So, yeah, with that particular slant over there that I seem to manage to ignore right there, that used to be the red coin in the original game. Well, in the DS remake, they somehow managed to move that red coin someplace else. Mainly due to the fact that with the Wasps Fortress has been, like, altered slightly. Well, it's pretty much exactly the same from the looks of it. However, though, they did now add in the forms of a new area, so I guess that makes it pretty obvious to able to make everything else entirely new and all that jazz. So, but either way though, let's go and climb up the tree and we'll come across into an owl. And just like the forms of how it does it on the original Super Mario 64, you can able to actually just jump and hop onto him, or hang on to him I should say. And basically this allows you to able to actually have ourselves a bit of a fly and what have you. Except the fact that, as you can tell, that the owl's theme now actually got its own theme. As opposed to the ones in the original game, that the actual background music just continues ongoing. So either way though, that's pretty cool I have to say. Although, I was going to able to try to go ahead and deal with the 100 coin Power Star mission, but I'll save that until for later, because either way though, as you can see, we're now able to get all 8 red coins, so now we can able to get the Power Star itself. So, yeah, with this new arena, or the new area I should say, yeah, that red coin right there has actually been placed onto the patch of flowers, as opposed to the ones and how it does in the forms of how it does in the original game. So, yeah, that seems the only significant difference I can think of, so either way though, looks like we've got about 13 Power Stars so far, which has always been a top notch, and I believe we now need to head back onto Wasps Fortress again, and this time we're going to be doing with Mission 5, Fell onto the Caged Island. And basically this requires an owl in order to able to finish this mission, so yeah, which, you remember when we did manage to use him ever since on those 2 red coins specifically? Now we're going to use him again, but this time we're going to hop on to the forms of the Caged Island. Although, good thing about it though is that the actual shape is actually a lot different compared to the forms of how it does in the original counterparts this time. Because rather than just trying to time yourself with the actual Caged Island in that specific spot, unlike the original game, because now all you can do is just basically just have to enter inside the actual the caged up thing, and you were able to get that star no problem. So, and the final mission in Wasps Fortress we have is Switch Star of the Fortress. Another new type of missions introduced in this version of the game, which, as far as this mission suggests, that you're gonna have to activate the actual Switch Star. And if every time you activate the Switch Star, the Power Star will show up. However though, it does act like a time limit by the way, because if you not rush things up, or if you do not rush things up completely, basically the Power Star will disappear and basically you're gonna have to try again. So in fact you do have multiple attempts by the way if you keep messing things up by the way, so that's always swell. And of course if you couldn't tell already, I'm gonna be going for the the 100 coin Power Star mission, even though sadly for the sake of this particular mission is that, well, as you can see, Yoshi cannot ground pound on those types of blocks as you can see on screen. However though, I believe Mario, he's the only one who can able to bust out those blocks. So we might be back for this though, whenever we're able to actually just to go ahead and well, hopefully trying to able to play as Mario and stuff like that. So because of that though, we'll come back for that another time, because for now we'll try to go ahead and well, keep on ground pounding right here, so just in case we can able to grab, you know, more coins here and there. And of course, much like the forms of the original Super Mario 64, basically, unfortunately though, is the fact that I'm not exactly a huge fan when it comes to the forms of 100 coin Power Star missions, because, well, obviously it's the fact that, well, you only have to do this in 1 attempt though, by the way, and this could be also still applies for those timer blue coin switches as you can see on screen, and because of that though you really don't want to mess things up or what have you, because if you do somehow fell off and die, then you're gonna have to do the entire collectathon all over again. So I mean, it might not be so bad though, because oh my god, that happens again. Okay, at least I'm safe this time. So anyway, but at least the good thing about this remake though, unlike the original game, is that obviously this game was actually, you know, you can able to play this game on the go, thanks to the forms of the Nintendo DS and stuff like that. And it wasn't until when it gets to the point in the Nintendo Switch version of, well, to be more specifically, the port to Super Mario 64 on the Switch, on the Super Mario 3D All-Stars compilation, basically you can able to play Super Mario 64 on the go on the Switch, and that way you can able to actually just save your progress on sleep mode or something. So either way though, that's pretty nifty, I should say. So either way though, I'm not exactly sure of how well the Switch is doing at the moment. It wasn't until whenever we were able to find out more information about it, until specifically by the end of this month on March. But even then, we'll point it out whenever we get into the later portions of this particular Let's Play in mind. So, because I'm still very curious to see how well some of these other games do manage to sell well enough. Well, at least I hope so anyway. So, there we go. We got ourselves the first 100 coin Power Star in Super Mario 64 DS. Of course, we actually skipped the ones in the forms of, you know, Bob-omb Battlefield, just because, obviously, we haven't exactly got, Mario yet, for reals for that point, because, obviously, yeah, that's as far as I can say about it, so... Anyway, so that does it for Wobb's Fortress, even though despite the fact that we've only got one mission left. So I think we'll probably hit back on to the forms of the actual Princess Peach's Castle hub world and move on to the next world. And of course, before we get on to the next world, which is Jolly Roger Bay, we're going to be hit on to that particular secret area by able to entering this hole here. And this way, this allows you to able to go ahead and just swim. And in this particular mission, it's pretty simple and self-explanatory, much like the original game. Basically, you're gonna have to grab all 8 red coins, and then if you've done that, then the Power Star will be rewarded for you. So even though self-explanatory, even though I felt the swimming in this version of the game does feel a little bit weird at times, but I can get used to it though, so trust me on that. So as far as you guys should probably already know, is the fact that recently, I'm pretty sure that, it's kind of hard to explain about it sometimes, because I know for the fact that, well, obviously that we've already discussed upon a lot of things during the forms of in the past few weeks or so, mainly due to the forms of Nintendo Directs and everything else like that, despite how most people find this to be the most lackluster Nintendo Directs that we've ever come across into, mainly due to the forms of too many emphasis on RPGs or JRPGs and stuff like that. Well, I'm okay with that, but it's just the fact that it's a bit too much for my liking, so as a result, yeah, I'm also able to consider this to be not a JRPG player. Well, I'm pretty good when it comes to several RPGs, mainly with like, you know what I mean, Paper Mario games, well, to be more specifically, the N64 and the Thousand Year Door installments, and Mario and Luigi series, and also Kingdom Hearts. So, and also same applies to the forms of the obscure Sonic Chronicles: The Dark Brotherhood for the DS. So, but I digress. So at least we managed able to complete that mission, so I suppose we can now head on to the forms of Jolly Roger Bay now. And the first mission we have is Plunder, the Indy sinking or sunken ship. So basically it's the fact that we need to swim a lot in this place, so we'll get this thing to it. And of course, if you couldn't tell from that particular picture frame, when you jump right into Jolly Roger Bay, obviously the actual image is actually based off from Super Mario 64, the original Japanese release of the game, in 1996 nonetheless. Because I'm pretty sure that in the, well, I would say in the Rumble Pack version in 1997, in the Japanese release of the game, like the Shindu edition, basically, I'm pretty sure the actual picture frame is actually changed or something. Even though it has been a really long while since I actually played Super Mario 64, the original version of the game, ever since any 3D All-Stars compilation first came out on the, well, you know what I mean, Nintendo Switch and stuff like that. So, anyway, so let's go ahead and go right near to the eel monster. And because of that though, rather than just swim up and then just try to wait until when he comes out of the actual hole, we can just simply just wait here. And what's also different is that you can only now activate one treasure chest in order to be able to let the water sink. So, yeah, at least that's a bit different. whilst unlike the original version of the game, I'm pretty sure you do need to activate likely 3 treasure chests or something like that. Although then again, it has been a really long time since I actually managed to play Super Mario 64. Again, ever since Journey Forms of 3D All-Stars compilation, so... And what's also cool about this remake is that you can able to actually instantly just manage to deal with like... Well, if you try to ground pound the actual, the yellow exclamation mark block, and basically if you try to ground pound while the power star was in there, you can just simply instantly grab the power star once it appeared, which is pretty satisfying. So anyways, mission number 2, can the eel come out to play? Well, we might as well be able to actually force him to come out to play. So, in this case, that's what the next power star is going to be, as you can tell from the bottom screen. So, enough for the fact that if you guys are probably wondering that, yeah, I'm going to be able to try to keep this particular recording session with this game in particular, as it is, like showing the majority of the top screen with, a much more of a bigger size, and then we'll put the bottom screen in some sort of like a shrinked up small size, just so you can able to see what's going on the bottom screen. So I know some Let's Players attempt to do this a little bit differently, but that's how it is. So no. Okay, that'll work. That was actually a quickest way to able to actually get the power star off the eel. So okay, I'll take it. I'll definitely take it. Thank you very much. So yeah, that's how essentially how this mission goes. So you just have to like get the power star off from the eel's tail, and basically that's all you have to do here. Pretty simple, self-explanatory right here. So mission number 3, treasure in the ocean cave. So I believe that we have to go on to the other side, as you can tell from the bottom screen. So even then, no, we need to make our way from here. So yeah, that's essentially how this goes. So in fact, most people seem to able to get massive criticism when it comes to this particular remake of the game, is that with the controls, although despite you can able to utilize with the, well, the touchscreen if you really want to move your character, but I found it a little bit awkward for my liking, and also you can able to use the directional pad and the 4 face buttons, including the L and R buttons if you feel like comfortable playing it. However though, most people seem to complain about the forms of how awkward and unnatural to able to utilize, well, let's just say a long jump ability, which you now need to able to hold down the Y button to run faster. So it kind of reminds me of somewhat of a similar thing for how it does in Sonic Lost World for the Wii U. That's basically in that particular game, alongside with the 3DS version as well. That obviously you do have the run button in case if you're about to run a little bit slightly faster. So yeah, that's how it goes basically. So I believe these treasures are in the exact same order, so up is first, and then left is second, right is on the third, and the last one is at the very bottom. And if you put all these treasure codes correctly, then you would be able to get the power star like so. Pretty simple and easy, self-explanatory for the most part, so awesome. In fact, there was also the another Super Mario 3D ROM hack by the forms of, specifically for Super Mario 64 DS, although I'll explain more about it later. Mission number 4, blast to the stone pillar. And of course, we do need to activate the cannon before we're able to actually do this specific mission. And after this mission though, I was able to do the double dip when it comes to the forms of 2 power stars coming up. Not what appears to be by the forms of, well, obviously the 100 coin power star mission, as well as the forms of the red coin missions as well. So hopefully that should be the case. I'll still say this though, I really love the actual Jolly Roger Bay theme. It's probably the most relaxing music in the whole entire game. Like, usually for either Super Mario 64 and Super Mario 64 DS combined. So, usually relatively speaking, that's what I can honestly try to say here, so... Anyway though, so let's go ahead and hop onto this cannon here and try to blast all the way to that specific stone pillar. To be more specifically, let's try and aim for just about right here. And eventually, whenever you hop onto here, then you would able to get the power star if you're trying to do a very good jump angle right there, and you would able to obtain it. So Although, unlike the ones in the original Super Mario 64, they do have to, like, break that particular block until you're able to get that power star. Because in here, the star will immediately show up. So, mission number 5, red coins on a ship afloat. And as I said this before, I'm going to be doing both the 100 coin Power Star mission, as well as the forms of the red coin mission all in one. So, because, you know, much like the forms of the original Super Mario 64, I'm also able to actually do this for every single courses. Well, this game still has 15 courses to be more specifically. However, though, that doesn't mean a thing about the fact that we're able to come across into new stage themes that we're able to actually come across into. Until specifically maybe in some point on this Friday we can able to show these off. So either way though, yeah, that's what I can say about this basically. So another thing is worth noting for is the fact that obviously that since during the forms of well, I don't suppose that I somehow mentioned about this, or if some toys else already mentioned about this before, ever since in yesterday's first episode of the newest Let's Play that we're going to be doing. That is, of course, Pokemon Snap. And because of that, though, you know, the new Pokemon Snap is on its way for the Nintendo Switch, which I'm super excited about. And that was the fact that, obviously, PlayStation has been announced. There's going to be a new State of Play Direct, which, it already did happen ever since in, well, let's just say in last Thursday, to be more specifically. But I'm pretty sure that, some toy sales has already mentioned about this specific stuff ever since then. So there's no point getting deep into that, because I'm pretty sure that, some toy sales has already mentioned about this. So, even then though, I totally forgot to mention about the specific stuff in my Mario Party 3 videos. So, but either way though, I just want to point that out, so. Anyway, so let's go ahead and just keep on swimming for these areas for the most part. Although, as far as the later missions for Jolly Roger Bay, as far as I'm concerned, like one of them is actually over there, and another one that usually adds in the actual cage section this time around. We not be able to actually do those missions just yet though, unless if we do need to unlock Luigi and Wario, because I say, in addition to when Mario was actually locked from the start, Luigi and Wario are also locked, so it's up to like, well, let's just say if we need to able to use Yoshi for able to trying to save Mario later on, and I'm pretty sure this also still applies for Mario needs to save Luigi, which I'm going to able to actually do that with specific normal method. And as far as Luigi is concerned, well, we'll point it out whenever we get into the later progressioning for this Let's Play, as I said this before. So, and also what's cool about this is that you can also use Yoshi's tongue ability to able to eat up coins and stuff like that, which is always awesome. So that way you could able to actually get the 100 coin Power Star missions like somewhat of a comfortable way, so at least as far as I can imagine. So either way though, although unlike the ones and how it does in Super Mario Galaxy 2, that Yoshi can't able to actually grab some coins and stuff like that. Although I may be wrong, just because it has been a really long time since I actually played Super Mario Galaxy 2. I think the last time I actually played Super Mario Galaxy 2 is when the when, you know, the My Little Pony Friendship is Magic Season 9 finale was actually up. So either way though, that might be the last time I actually did manage to play that game. So either way though, it's kind of a different story to be more specific, so another thing that's worth noting for is the fact that, you know, as far as what someone else has already mentioned about these kinds of stuff in any other YouTube videos out there, usually for speaking of My Little Pony, is that the second movie is going to be on a Netflix exclusive. So, you know, kind of like the same thing for how he does it on Sponge on the Run, on the, ever since in last year. Well, to be more specifically, the UK version specifically. And as far as the American version is concerned, basically they'll get themselves in a different service called Paramount Plus. So that way they were able to actually just pretty much do the same thing. So either way though, yeah, that's as far as I can say about it. So Anyway, so let's go ahead and grab the last 3 red coins, and those last 3 coins are on the ship. So, yeah, be very careful of that particular skull box, because either way though, if you dare touch that, then it basically deals a bit of damage on you. So, and time to make things a little bit interesting. 2 stars or 1 appearance. So, top notch. Although, unlike the ones how it does in the original Super Mario 64, that usually 2 power stars manage to able to appear separately, whilst in here, in a remake, that 2 of those power stars shows up in the exact same time as each other, so that's pretty top notch. So there we go, that pretty much takes care of the forms of this mission, and we'll probably take a break on Jolly Roger Bay from now on, just because we'll save the final 2 missions until later on throughout the game. So, yeah, I guess we'll end things off here. So join me next time for more of Let's Play of Super Mario 64 DS. It's that we're pretty much gonna have to move on to the next world, which is Cool Mountain. So I'll see you guys until on Friday. Later, fellas.